Hello. In previous videos, we talked about the benefits and the challenges of RP. And if you're still here, that must mean that you're still interested. So then that brings up the next set of questions, which is how to start and where do we RP? Welcome. I'm Marcos, also known as the Enchanted Lore Master. For today's topic, we're going to discuss about how to get started and where are some of the locations where you can RP. The type of RP that we're going to focus on today is what is known as the tabletop version. So this is more common with like Dungeons and Dragons, Pathfinder, and other similar type of systems. So where can we RP? Well, there's a couple different locations and options. One of them is known as the VTT, which stands for Virtual Tabletop. Some well-known VTTs include Roll20, D&D Beyond, and Foundry. Now, each one has their own pros and cons depending on the situation. With Roll20 and D&D Beyond, they both have a free tier, but they're going to have some limitations with them. Then they have where you can have a subscription with them ranging from $5 to about $9 for Roll20 or $3 to $6 with D&D Beyond. One of the advantages of Roll20 is it's been around for a while, and they have where you can have multiple systems that are compatible with their environment. D&D Beyond, as the name kind of suggests, is going to be more of a closed system associated with WotC's product of Dungeons and Dragons. The other option out there is Foundry. And with Foundry, they kind of do things a little bit different, in which it is a one-time purchase, but then you have the option of additional add-ons that cost money. So depending on how you want to do this, certain ones may be more in line with your style. Additionally, for clarity's sake, these fees would be paid by the GM or Dungeon Master or Game Master, and versus not the players. Now, another location that you can play is look at your local game store or card shop or whatever of the sorts, right? And that is actually where I began my journey with role-playing. Is I found a local GameStop that I was very comfortable with, and they had a nice little forum to where people were able to post basically looking for groups, LFGs, or, people looking to play certain games and kind of their availability to form up these groups to play. And that is how I, thankfully through this local game store, that is how I started. I found a group that met at the times that I was available, that were playing the systems I was available and interested in, and we were able to meet up at the local game store and play. You can do something similar also with the VTTs, as we previously mentioned, as you can see that they might have a forum or they'll have like Reddit or what have you, but other ways in similar thought process to where you can look for other people to kind of join you in playing the game. Now, the other option to play is, well, at home. Whether it's at your house or a friend's house or what have you, you can gather together and play. So, as you can see with these, you can imagine some of the pros and cons. The VTT may have some costs associated with them. Some of the big advantages that I foresee is that as a GM, you have the tools to have maps, tokens, and all sorts of neat things, like tools to where you can create the environment for your players to play and enjoy the campaign and adventures that you're running. Versus where in more of a physical location, you may have to draw these out or have little tokens to represent your characters and stuff like that versus like having an image. The other advantage with having a VTT is, which is very, such is the case for me, is that I have people that want to role play with me, but they physically can't because they're across the country. So this allows us to virtually meet together, and we can, chat with each other and play the game. Whereas in a normal situation, we couldn't. Now, with the physical being, like at home, this is where you guys can goof off. You can bring chips, snacks, what have you. You have that, that closeness. You can actually roll, and feel the physical dice in your hands and just that rolling sound. That is its own experience that you don't get with a VTT. So these are all things that you have to consider to see what is going to more fit your need and your use case. Now, a word of caution. So there will be some people out there that they are trying to invite people to, for their groups to do game sessions and stuff like that where they will GM, but they charge for that. I think for the beginning of your journey and stuff like that. I mean, some people may enjoy that and have a professional GM, but I think for most people out there, that's not what you're going to need. You're going to just want to have fun and enjoy this. So now that brings up the question, okay, well, I know the use case I want to have, whether it's in person or virtual, but who's going to play with me? Right? Well, I would start simple. And that is, look around you and start with your friends and family. See if there's anybody who's already RPing, and if who has that type of experience. And if not, if they are interested, maybe you can have somebody who would be willing to don the mantle of the GM and help read the rules and guide the other people as they go through this adventure. If you are a newer person, especially beginning with the role of GM, I'm going to suggest that you go out there and find something that is known as the campaign, modules or guides and stuff like that. And what they do is they kind of help you go through an adventure, so that way it helps you so you don't have to come up with every scenario and stuff like that. The other tools that you're going to want under your belt is going to be typically like a player's handbook, a game master's guide, or even a monster manual or bestiary, depending on what system it is. So like with the monster manual, once again, that's more of a game master's tool in which it provides various monsters and their stats, so that way when he has an adventure for you guys, he can easily see, oh hey, this is how much damage he does, this is how much damage he could take, what kind of special abilities, and so forth. The player's guide is going to be more of the rules on how to build your characters and what have you. Well, so then you're like, man, do we have to pay for all this? I thought, RPing was kind of free and stuff. Well, yes. Yes, it is free. Books like this have kind of increased over the years. I would say they cost around $50 a book nowadays, ballpark. However, I have some good news for you. And we have compiled a list of resources to help you on this journey, and we will provide links in the description below. And what we have gathered is that Pathfinder and D&D have what is called the SRD, or System Reference Document. And these are information, it is their game system and things that they've provided free to the public, so that way then you can have access and play their game. Some of it is, as I will show with you in just a moment, where it is websites in which you can search and you can read and learn how to build your character and all the things that would normally be in the books. Another one is, such as with D&D, they do have a website, but they also provide a PDF that you can get. You know, it's going to be a simple PDF, not all the art and stuff like that, but it gives you a document to where then you can learn how to play the game, and it's free. It's provided by the companies and stuff. Boo! This is Marcos from the future. Now, I've come to apologize because my editing team has informed me that I tend to get a little long-winded. So, Marcos from the past, you chatted a bit too much, and you promised that we would showcase some of these sites and links for them. Unfortunately, due to time constraints, so that way this video is not super long, I've been informed that we have opted to split that into a separate video. Well, back to your regularly scheduled program. If there are any other topics or questions that you'd like us to cover, please drop a comment down below and we will take a look at them and try to create a video for you answering those questions. And I want to say that's it for today, and thank you for watching.